What's up, everybody? It's Ishi. I haven't come out with a commentary in a while, and I know I needed to. It's been a little while, and I was thinking of what my life story is going to be on. Well, I got inspiration from something that happened, and I decided to pitch to you guys. All right. Some of you have seen what I look like, and I do look somewhat skinny, scrawny, kind of tall, lanky type. Well, when I was a kid, I didn't really peak over 5 feet tall. So up to my sophomore year in high school, I think I maxed out at like 5 feet, 90 pounds. I was tiny. And so my face didn't really grow at all. I had like a baby face, a monkey-like face. And I got called names for it all the time. I developed the nickname Mouse for like 3, 4 years. I got the nickname Flea, Smurf, all just being short. I also got called Fag a lot, and it got so bad. Like, it started, I'd say, in about 5th grade. It started, and I'd just kind of ignore them, and I'd get mad, or I'd walk away. And then in 7th grade, I was sick of it, because it was a bigger school, and I got even more crap from it. Usually I got it from 2 or 3 guys back in elementary. Now I've got it from 10 or 11 guys. So one of them ended up staying late after the bell, and was bullying me and picking on me. And I had it. I tackled his ass to the ground and beat the living shit out of him. I got, I'd say, about 10 punches in right to the dome before he was out cold. And what was funny was the vice principal saw it all go down, called my mom, and said, "Your son finally stood up for himself. I'm not going to do any punishment to him." And the other guy got suspended, actually had a fractured jaw, and ended up moving schools at the end of the 7th grade. I didn't have any more problems with him or any of his friends. So that ended that time period of being called fag, queer, gay. And it's like, they say, oh, just don't believe him, don't listen to him. Well, if you hear it enough times, you start to think it's true. And it's really it just kills me every time I hear it now. And it's like, if I didn't have this problem back then and I hear, oh, you're gay, well, people would I'd see it as a joke now because I get a ton of poon now and it's perfectly acceptable. But back then, I legitimately thought I had like the features of a gay guy, and people thought I was legitimately gay, and I just heard it over and over again. So then, my sophomore year in high school, I got crap for it again from 3 different guys, and me and one of them were talking in the back of the class, and he's like, "Yeah, you're a fag, and I could beat the shit out of you." My buddies heard it, stood up behind me, walked over to me, and he's like, "Did you just say you could beat up Kyle?" And he's like, "Yeah, I could beat the shit out of him. It'd be so easy." And we're about the same size, so it'd be like a legit fight. And then votes started coming up. People started betting on who would win in a fight, me or him, because we were about the same size. And we ended up fighting, not because of the bet, but because he called me a fag again after school and shoved me into a fence. And I fractured 2 of his ribs, his lower left ribs, and I got him unconscious, and he lost a tooth. I hit him hard enough in the mouth, one of his teeth popped out and just started bleeding. And I ended up winning that bet. And then later that year, I got called a fag again from a stoner, and I just could not beat him up. Like, he took punch after punch after punch, but he felt no pain, and it was absolutely awful. I mean, I think he had a full-on broken cheekbone, and I think that's all I got, and a few bruises here and there. And I got so much crap for it. I was completely just sick of it. But because I got this reputation for fighting, for people calling me gay, it all kind of stopped. But the other reason I think it kind of stopped is because my sophomore year in high school, I started hanging out with my buddy Carlos. Me and him were on the same soccer team, and I ended up moving that year, and he ended up being my neighbor. So I ended up just almost automatically becoming friends with him and his buddies, and all of his buddies were Mexican and black. So I kind of had just some cover, just some help for whatever I needed. And it was really nice of a change not to hear it anymore. But then me and my buddies started making jokes about each other, and I found that it was actually like, now it's jokes. Now it's not legitimately calling me gay and whatnot, because it'd be like, oh, you're short and white. I don't even know the jokes they had on me, but I know the black guy, I had jokes on him. Said, you know what, Abe Lincoln was wrong. You were not allowed to be free. And then on the Mexicans, one of them was actually illegal. So I said, bitch, get on your knees or go back to Mexico. That was kind of one of my jokes that I used all the time. And whatever we did, whatever we said was going to be used against us. If we said something wrong, if we ended up saying I'm gay. Whatever, man. Shut up. They'd use that for 2 weeks. Cold ass jokes that would just cut to the bone. I remember the coldest one was my buddy Carlos told me he'd been rejected by 14 different times. Why he let out that number is because we were having a little truth session between me and him, and I said I was trying to go after this one girl and she would just not budge. I just got friend zoned almost immediately. And so I ended up using that joke against him, and he used my joke against me while playing on a soccer game. He ended up tripping me and just completely, actually I fractured my tailbone later that day, but he ended up coming in from a slide tackle from the side and actually dislocated my ankle. And I got pissed over it, and I was mad. Tears running down from my eyes. Yeah, bitch, that's why you couldn't get shit for girls. You got rejected 15 times. Fuck you, you ain't shit. Yes, why Tiara wouldn't go out with your bitch ass. And it was just really cold. And so that has been my story on bullying for today. My life story. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out.